勝ったぞ。俺の勝ちだ。
Hello everybody, it's Platinum Equinox. Today we are talking about the Bleach light novels and we have unconfirmed spoilers ahead. So, you have been warned, we do have unconfirmed spoilers, meaning that these are not confirmed yet. So, let's dive into this stuff with a grain of salt. First and foremost, these ones here are deleted unconfirmed spoilers. Considering they were deleted by the user, they have zero likelihood to be true. Zero. Okay. So, it says here that Hisagi's Bankai is mutual suffering and amplified damage. He shares the pain of those he harms, and the more he harms, the stronger he becomes. At peak strength, it's like being dragged under by death, where he might die at any second and the next attack is instant kill. The Espadas are given unstable prototype Hogyoku made by Mayuri with Pernita's remains and Gerard's bones. The prototypes give them a boost in power, but cracks appear on their bodies and they begin deteriorating. Urahara takes them into his Bankai and remodels them to be able to handle the power, allowing them to momentarily gain a Hogyoku form. Hirako's Bankai reverses the flow of time. His Bankai change is minimal, only turning his Shikai sword gold. The flow of time on the body reverses. Old injuries return and disappear. Enhancements are lost and knowledge gained is forgotten. For Tokinada's white fodder hollows, that means literally shrinking and disappearing from existence. His Bankai has a range of 3 kilometers in diameter. At number 2 here, we do have unconfirmed spoilers that were not deleted by the user, and this is the user Anima Mask. I got these from the image boards, so I cannot guarantee if they are true or not. Also, credit to Lon for providing these. The first bullet of the unconfirmed spoilers says that people who were expecting scenes from Kenpachi, Aizen, and Grimmjow in these novels will be let down. Ukitake ordered Ginjo's execution, but the Suniyashiro family was the true mastermind. Another bullet, Hisagi's Bankai, is called Kazeshini Shibo Nawa, Wind of Death, Hangman's Rope. Now, as for what the Bankai actually does, word for word in these unconfirmed spoilers, Hisagi wraps the opponent in his chains, and as long as they're connected, they share pain and injuries between them, with the chains draining both their Ryatsu to heal them until both are exhausted. Hisagi undoes his Bankai, and the weakened enemy is then killed by a third party. That is actually pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie, but that also puts Hisagi at risk. We really gotta think about that. That Bankai has a huge risk. So basically, in the shortest way possible, we could throw out 2 scenarios, and one of them is not good for Hisagi. One of them, Hisagi actually does kill his prey, and the other, Hisagi could be slaughtered. Because what we have right here, folks, is a double-edged sword Bankai. But of course, we know that Hisagi wouldn't be stupid enough to use it unless he had a third party with him. And of course, you know, if he planned out everything and laid out the groundwork, making sure that the enemy didn't have a third party as well, then everything would go fine. That is a really risky but unique type of Bankai that, you know, I've been waiting to see. Also, another bullet here says that the Soul King is the ancestor of all Quincy, which is obviously no surprise here. Bambi is revived. Another bullet says, one poster says that the Hell Arc is next. Now, we really have to take that with a grain of salt. The Hellverse, if most of you remember seeing the movie, a lot of things went down in that movie, and people were, you know, talking, speculating, all sorts of things. But if there actually is another light novel focusing on the Hell Arc, we might just get it by Ryogo Narita or another person chosen by Kubo himself. But we don't know if this is really true yet. Moving on, though this may just be hopeful thinking on their part. I agree, this may just be hopeful thinking. And then, of course, we have the third part here, the new unconfirmed spoilers from the novels. Now, we're going to dive deep into this. Browsing through several image boards gave me these spoilers. The first bullet here says that Aura either dies in front of Hikone, or she will form a family with Hikone. Either way, the two will have a touching last scene. And another bullet here says, Haribel joining the Espada was what kicked Dordoni out. Another bullet here says, the reason Ukitake, Shunsui, and Ichigo have twin Zanpakuto is because they all had two beings inside of them. Now, of course, Ichigo had the old man and Zangetsu. With Shunsui, Ohana gave birth to the lunatic to hide Nanao's Zanpakuto, and in Ukitake's case, it is because Mimihagi resides inside him, on top of his own Zanpakuto spirit. Another bullet here says that Kyoraku plans to collect the scattered fragments of the Soul King. Not sure if the leakers mean the previous Soul King or Yawak. Another interesting bullet here, because of the difference in their zombification techniques, Bambita, unlike Mayuri's zombies, is slowly decaying. She also reeks because of that. Though luckily, a proper revival will solve that problem. Another bullet here, highlights of the novels include Shinji's Bankai, Ginjo, and Bambita. Bambita's scenes apparently made readers cry tears of joy. Ginjo will also have a really awesome scene, but readers were disappointed that it wasn't sketched. And that, my friends, this is what I've been saying, this is what James has been saying. If they plug the light novels into the anime, we could have more of this stuff. Just, it could be more. It really could be more. Just really let that sink in. The world building in Bleach could be a whole lot different if they do this for the anime. Especially this heartbreaking scene that is mentioned for Ginjo. I'd really like to see that on the screen. Okay, another bullet here. Tokinata remains an entertaining scumbag through and through. And another bullet here says that there used to be some kind of conflict between Berrigan and the Ikomiki Dome. The Arrancar are going to fight the Ikomiki Dome. And there is apparently something in the novels that makes readers speculate there will be some kind of extra Bleach story, either revealed in the Jet or in the near future. Though this time there is no mentioning of Hell. And of course the final bullet, mysteries that will not be resolved in the novel, the Ishida family, Aizen's Bankai, and the first person Byakuya used Senkei against, and probably more. And that is quite, very disappointing. But wait just a minute, who's to say that they won't make more novels? Not with Ryoga Norita, because he did state that the third volume was his final volume. But I'm wondering if someone will carry on for Kubo even further than Ryoga Norita, and dive into more of these things, because there's still a bunch of unsolved mysteries here. And I really want to see Aizen's Bankai for one. That really needs to happen. That's a must. And I really want to know who the first person Byakuya used the Senkei against. That was one thing that really crossed my mind at one point. I was like, who is this person that Byakuya used the Senkei against? I want to know. At the end of the day here, guys, the bottom line here is that there is so much in the world of Bleach to explore, and even further with Kazui and Ichika, there is so much more to dive into that we could have if the anime were to return, and we still believe that it will at some point in the near future. It just all depends, and Kubo has to be on top of this stuff every step of the way. If new info like this continues to stroll in, eventually there will come a time when all questions will be completely answered. These are unconfirmed spoilers, but they are quite mind-blowing to say the least. And I have a solid feeling that a good chunk of this stuff is actually true. While there are still a good number of unanswered questions, I'm sure that we will get there eventually. Fingers are still crossed for the Bleach light novels to be officially licensed by Viz Media for fans overseas. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it though. However, I do have a petition on that for Viz Media. Please be sure to head on down to the link I have provided in the description, and be sure to share said petition with everyone else. This shared information comes from a good friend of mine, Zach Brangen. A huge shout out goes to him. Be sure to follow his Twitter account, and also he has a YouTube account. Links will both be provided in the description. Again, a huge thank you, Zach. It is much appreciated, my friend. Glad to have someone like you on board in this community. Eventually, there will be more on this stuff that we will cover, but for now, that is all from me, guys, and I will see you all in the next Bleach video.
月が天使黙れ月が通じしろ冷圧をぶち込んで叩き起こしたいやつがいるんだまだ全然使いこなせちゃねえけどな